1. My next guest is a musician based out of Hudson Valley, New York. He's a wonderful dude, talented individual, and has so much potential with his music career. You can catch him this Saturday, March 5th, at the Bowery Electric in New York City. I know him as Guy Washington, but you will now know him as GRFY. What's going on, bro? Thanks for joining me here in my Jersey City apartment/studio.
Yes, sir. What's good, man? How you doing, bro?
It's great to see you. This is a first for the show. Big
Facts.
deal.
Facts.
We're
This is my
hanging
first
out.
podcast as well.
Really?
Yeah.
This is your very first show?
Yeah. I love watching podcasts, but this is my first one. It's my introduction.
Look at that, bro. And I love, obviously, making shows here. This is the first in-studio one here in Jersey City. So, making strides one way or the other. We have some music videos on in the background. We're some comfy couches.
Facts.
I poured us some Jamaican rum to celebrate with some water so we can be responsible as well.
Got to.
So before we get anything in the
Strong
festivities,
as hell, man.
let's have a toast to making contact. Thanks for coming here, guy.
Of course. Oof.
Absolutely
I don't even be
fantastic.
drinking like that, but whatever. It's all good. And thank you for having me, bro.
Bro, it's an absolute pleasure. So, how have you been? How have things started? It's 2022. It's March. You have a big show coming up.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how things have been going so far.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good, everybody had a rough 2020. I don't really want to get into that, but 2021 was a little rough too. I had to keep, recovering from the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it got down to just going back to the basics and really building the foundation again. You know what I mean? Because I was building a nice foundation. I feel like that's a crazy thing, like with everybody. Everybody was on a good path on the beginning of 2020, right? And then it was just like, oh, that's it. So, I kind of had to build back up. You know what I mean? I'm not no mega star, so I had to, get everything back rolling. But it feels better this year. I know things not back to normal completely, but just making sure I was doing my work behind the scenes is the biggest thing. To make sure everything will come together how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that. I mean, that's how my 2022 is going so far. You know what I mean? Looking forward to the future and knowing that I had something going and I just had to pick it up again.
When talking about where things are supposed to be, are you somebody who believes that everything happens for a reason? And with this whole 2020 pandemic, this was your moment of, fight or flight and see where things go, and you feel like this was supposed to happen to you? You're in that mindset?
Yeah. I think it was supposed to happen to everybody. You know what I mean? But for sure, it just feels like you're supposed to keep it going. You know what I mean? Like I felt stagnant at sometimes, but at the end of the day, I just had a lot of positive self-talk and really reeled into who I am. You know what I mean? It wasn't to be stuck in a spot. I didn't want to be stuck in a loop. So, those things I had to do, like I said, behind the scenes to sacrifice and make sure that I could be here today in a better position. You know what I mean? A year ago, today I wasn't driving a car. You know what I mean? The simple little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and I hate the DMV, by the way, but that's another story. But little things like that is what I had to get back together and just make sure those things could make me go from A to Z. You know what I mean? And it wasn't I'm tired of A to B. You know what I mean? I want to go where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, so you were somebody who seems to appreciate the little things, the lucky breaks. Like one thing I really learned in 21, 22, what actual luck is. Of course, we're all waiting for our lucky breaks in our careers or whatever we're doing. But sometimes it really is lucky to have a car.
Yeah.
To wake up in the morning.
For real.
Not have anxiety of being in trouble about something.
Exactly.
Not having someone you're dating want to kill you or something like that.
No, seriously.
In all seriousness, lucky breaks, we really learn what they actually are. Doing stuff like this. You feel the same way?
100%, because everybody has their own realities. So like you're saying, you know what I mean? Somebody might feel in danger, you know what I mean? Somebody might be poor, you know what I mean? Other people are rich, you know what I mean? Other people are wealthy because there's a difference, but, you know, but, you know, everybody deals with it how they deal with it, and everybody has their own problems, no matter where they are and what they're doing, you know? So your question was, do I believe in lucky breaks? Is that what you said?
That and like, is that a lucky break to you compared to like, waiting for your big moment? Like, what do you consider lucky is what I'm asking.
Well, I think, luck plays a part in it, but I mean, you got to be consistent. You got to put in the work too. You know what I mean? You can't just sit around and think that something's going to happen, because it's not. But you got to put in the work, put yourself in a position to be able to make that luck happen, because you might be at the right place at the right time, and that's all it really takes.
One thing I learned, and I really agree with this, is luck is when preparation and time meet. So like you're saying,
exactly.
So as long as you have all the skills, the experience, the things checked off, and then luck is basically when it decides if it's going to happen or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to always just be ready as ourselves, just because, and then the luck will happen. And then sometimes you do work hard enough to make that luck happen anyways.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to outrun, I don't know, if we're trying to do a mile or something and you're trying to hit your goal, you could be lucky to hit that goal, but if you put that extra oomph when you're supposed to, that's also using your hard work for that luck too,
Exactly, and you're breaking your record that you had before, you know what I mean? Little things like that are all very important, all very key, and I like that, because I've heard that before. You said, what, luck?
Is preparation and time meeting.
Okay, exactly, there it is. But no, that's perfect, because, we don't even, I don't want to get into this level, it's crazy, but we don't even know why we're here in the first place, you know what I mean? We got all these hypotheses and all these thoughts and, opinions and so-called facts and shit, but, at the end of the day, that's why those three things are so important to come together, because we need certain things to come together to make it to that next step, or
and what are those three things again?
What
are those three things again, just to remind our audience?
Preparation and time. You know what I mean?
And that equals luck, yeah.
That equals luck, you feel me? That's three. But yeah, I mean, that's very important.
No doubt about it, man.
Yeah.
And as long as we're getting closer to it every day, you have to try. One thing I think I'm lucky is to not let things slide. It's like a natural body tendency to do something. Like for instance, I need to do my taxes so I can get a refund because I'm a broke boy.
Yeah.
And any cash opportunity I can get, I take.
Yeah.
And
as fast as you can, exactly.
So since I moved to New Jersey, they have these forms that you have to wait for Jersey to open for certain things, right?
Oh,
and
God.
I know technically it's supposed to be the 18th of April, I think now is the tax day. But I just need to get it done. I can't be lazy. I know it's not technically due, but I have all these bills to pay, being a, person of society. So
yeah, 100%.
I thought I was going to be lazy with these forms. I get them and blow it off, but I just knew I have to get it done. It's like a gravitational pull to get me that there.
For real.
You feel like that's what you do too with what you're grinding with?
Yeah, 100%. And I felt exactly that way with taxes. I can't wait until, actually I can wait, but I want to get into the 1099 space. You know what I mean? Because that's when you're owning shit. But I know that comes with different things too. You know what I mean? So I know when it happens that it's going to be different problems and different difficulties that I'm going to have to face and shit. But it's something I want to get to. But I was definitely facing that literally this past few weeks, and I just did it. What's today? Yeah.
Today's a Saturday. We're recording this on the 19th of February. But yes, for the first. But you got it done what, on Tuesday or something?
Nah. Friday, I think Friday. So yeah, it was just a lot of things because I've been moving around, and like I said, 2021 was interesting. I moved back to New York, and then I went back to Connecticut. So it was like a lot of different things that you got to fill out. So it was just annoying. But well, you were saying that different things that you face with, oh, well, what I have. Yeah, I mean, you know, the motivation itself, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you gotta get up and feel the same way you did when you first thought about what you wanted to pursue, you know? So it's like, I know I love it, but, you know, I also have everyday life shit too, and you know what I mean? It's like, those things, you know, they're supposed to get in your way when you're strong-minded, when you're a strong person, you know, that's just how life is. But, it's like, you know that, oh man, this drink is getting to me already. I told you I don't even drink. It's crazy. But yeah, no man, it's motivational. The motivation sometimes is not there because of what you have to deal on a day-to-day basis. Because I'm like, you know, as any artist out there, you know, it's kind of like you already want to be solidified, you know, but you know you're not there yet. So you're like, man, I gotta partake in normal society too, you know, like it's
You have, it's, you know,
It's
it's not as easy
interesting.
as some people make it out to be. It's possible, but it's
Yeah.
not easy.
yeah.
Trying to pursue a career while needing an income.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
if
end
you're
of the
not in the
day.
streets, I mean, I don't suggest anybody being in the streets, but I understand why people are in it. Some people are raised in it, some people are just, you know, they see that as, you know, opportunity. And I don't have that. I wasn't a part of that. You know what I mean? I could have been when I was younger, but I just chose not to be because
You chose not to go directly into the struggle. Like, what do you do?
I didn't choose to go into the streets. Is what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Like, it
I
was.
can really watch it. It's not fun.
Nah, I didn't choose to be in the struggle either. I mean, that just honestly happened due to where
Being
you know
a
what I mean?
person in this world.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
it's like fucking nah, man. I didn't choose to be that. So if I had, you know, if I was in the streets, I might have had like a different foundation where, you know, I might have had people backing me that were from the streets that, you know, had the bread. But I don't have that. You know, you got to do it yourself. You got to meet the people you need to meet and shit like that with normal jobs or a lot of, you know, side hustles or, you know, a lot of things that you just got to vet on the go, you know?
Yeah, it's part of that journey is getting through the other part of
Yeah.
just being an adult.
Yeah.
With taxes, it's like, you know, what's, you know, name any rap. We'll say Eminem. At the end of the day, the government sees him as Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, 100%.
And
They
he
see
still
him as
has
a
his,
social security number, to be honest.
right? So he has to do his, he had to at one point go through his regular life to do it and still has to be the person, the guy who can't avoid, you know, the everyday mundane things, the Marshall part of his life.
Yeah.
I'm sure you feel the same way as you're at this stage trying to create a following and having your music.
Exactly.
It's just the other aspect of life first. That's the final boss. And I feel the same way while I try to grow a podcast.
Yeah, I understand that because, you know, we go through our own struggles, so that might be, you know, it might be internally, so, you know, that might be something that people don't see, but you're dealing with it.
Yeah.
So as a podcaster or as an artist, entertainment in general, you need to feed the community on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, consistently in general, you know what I mean? So if they're not seeing you on social media, or if they're not hearing from you, or you're not giving them the product all the time on like they want it, you know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind type of thing. So they don't take into consideration that we're people, you know, like they don't, you know, they obviously don't take into consideration that stars are people, you know what I mean? But you know, we treat them like whatever. That's why with stuff like that, you know what I mean? I never have any, you know, I'm not a chat nigga, you know what I mean? I'm not a person to just, you know, have a whole bunch of opinions that I'm gonna write down on the internet and shit like that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have real conversations with people and stuff, and that's how I'm gonna approach it, because I know at the end of the day, it's none of my business what somebody else is going through, you know? unless they want to make it my business, you know, or anybody's business. It's, you know, it's just an everyday thing that we gotta you know, work with.
Yeah, you just hope for them to do their best. Most importantly, get tabs on yourself. Get tabs on yourself, because you're the one who wants to ultimately do this once and for all.
Exactly.
If the opportunity's calling, you have to be ready for it.
For real.
I know you do it as an artist, and I do it as a podcaster, so
No,
just
for
working
sure.
that craft every day. And last thing with the whole development part, getting through everything. So, one of the most popular artists ever, Kanye West,
Okay.
obviously
Yeah.
been in the news a lot lately.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
beyond that, he's an artist, one
Yeah.
of the best-selling artists of all time,
Mhm.
a true legend in the hip-hop community
Yeah.
and the whole music world. And he just released or I should say Netflix just released a documentary about him,
Mhm.
Genius,
Yeah.
you know, Gen,
YUHS.
you know, dash
Yeah.
YUS, Genius, which is a three-part documentary about Kanye's career.
Mhm.
Split into 3 parts. Act 1 is vision. I can't think of the other 2, but you know, it's just his arc to where he's at now.
Mhm.
And
His
first
journey.
episode's out. I'm sorry, you're saying?
No. I just said his journey. That's all.
Yeah, exactly, his journey. First episode's out, and we see him going from an early producer to ultimately the college dropout.
Mhm.
And he had the good idea to have his friend Cootie, the co-director of this doc, follow him
Mhm.
as he goes, you know, meets with A&R executives. He goes, raps to record companies.
Mhm.
He finds success collaborating, wanting to prove that he's not just a producer, but he wants to be a rapper,
Yeah.
figuring out how to get his foot in the door. And beyond the Kanye who's harassing Pete Davidson right now and, you know, not being a good
Yeah.
ex-wife to Kim Kardashian,
Ex-husband.
ex-husband, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Beyond, I'm just focusing on, we're separating art from the artist right now. We're focusing on
Yeah.
the artist, how he became one of the most popular artists of all time.
Mhm.
And it's pretty inspiring to see. It's funny how everyone who's trying to be a rapper now, no matter where you're at in this country, I watched it. I don't know. You said you haven't seen it
I
yet.
haven't seen it yet. Tomorrow's the day for sure.
All right, great,
Sure.
great. Don't
I
forget
have
to let
to.
me
I
know
have to.
what you think.
Yeah, he's a big part of, you know, our generation. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Continue.
But in the general sense, as Kanye trying to be Kanye, and anyone trying to make their name in this business, it was like watching anybody's journey right now. This was mainly set in 2002 before he signed with Rockefeller. And I watched this and I'm like, wow, so many up-and-coming artists, any up-and-coming creative would love this.
Yeah.
They would be really inspired by it. I mean, you see him trying to network with people, trying to promote himself,
Mhm.
and he ultimately becomes way more famous than 20 years later.
For real. For real.
So I bring this up, obviously, with Kanye. And do you see Kanye as someone like that? Obviously, right now with the difficult PR he's dealing with,
Mhm.
though, as an artist I'm not going to speak for you, but
Mhm.
you can say it yourself, is Kanye one of your influences as an artist?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Like he has a huge impact on our generation. I know, you know, personally, I remember when my mom got me late registration, the clean version. You know, so I wasn't able to have the parental advisory on it and stuff. I had to get the clean version, but you know that was very, very instrumental in who I am in general. Really, you know what I mean. Besides even pursuing music, it was just like a personal thing that like you know groomed me. When you know I heard "Hey Mama," you know what I mean. I played that for my mom, and you know, she was crying and shit. So it was like just that little piece, and then like going to my baseball games and listening to like Drive Slow and Addiction and shit, and it was like. And I had like you know had the CD player, you know the CD player's in the car, but I think that's what I'm talking
Portable
about.
CD player?
Yeah, I had one of those, and it was you know I would listen to it on the way there and on the way back home, and it was just you know, like I said, it was just instrumental on who I was becoming as a person. Because, you know, people see him as, you know, like you said, besides the PR, you know, they see him as who he is. But, you know, I saw him as just this light, you know, like
almost like a superhero.
and yeah, for real, for real. And it was, I don't know. And the thing is too, it's like it's hard to get your parents into music that you like. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they felt the same way when they were younger. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth.
Yeah, all the generation gaps.
Yeah. So when you have like connection like that, you know what I mean? If it's just through one song, or you know they kind of notice them and stuff like that, it's like, oh, you know, like wow, like you feel kind of validated. Like, oh, okay, I'm listening to somebody that has some type of message because my mom or you know my parents are noticing that too. You know, so it was. I guess that connected too, in a sense, where I was like, I got like the stamp of approval that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not listening to no nonsense, you know? Like, I'm listening to something with some depth in it, you know?
Definitely, definitely. So, having said that, and you're about to see this doc, but I'm sure you've seen the YouTube clips or stuff on Instagram and the videos.
Yeah, I'm hearing the stories and stuff, yeah.
Camcorder footage. Seeing that, how does it keep inspiring you to be Griffey?
Man, because it inspires me a lot because Kanye wasn't a hood dude. You know what I mean? He wasn't a hood nigga. Like that's not him. You know, he was just some guy that was he had a vision and nobody truly wanted to or could understand where he was trying to go with it. You know, it might have been a mixture of things. But you know, I feel like that a lot of the time because I'm not trying to make, you know, southern rap music. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make drill music. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make the mainstream things. You know what I mean? But I love all of that music, which is the craziest part about it. I just want to just be me. So however I can present myself and the way that represents myself the best, that's just where I want to be at, you know? If, like I have a new idea going into my next project where I kind of want to mix like some sophisticated drill music with soul and like a trippy alternative feel to it, and I want to like blend it in where the transitions come in and it's seamless because I want to use my raps as like conversational pieces, and I want people to understand that I have a voice that transcends rapping too. Like I'm not worried about just my bars, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say something to you, whether it's gonna impact you or just letting you know where I'm at right then and there, or what I've experienced, or what I've seen around me. You know, I don't want to just stay in one box, and I think that's specifically what Yeezy has done for me specifically, and just our generation. Like, he let us know that, you know, you can do what you want. You know, just make sure that, like we were saying before, make sure you work hard for it. You know what I mean? There it goes again, you know what I mean? The time preparation, you know, that together is luck, you know what I mean? It comes together, and that's what luck is.
Word. We're going to elaborate more on that. We're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, say that.
All right, we're back, everybody. So, in the middle of the break, we got a little bit of a studio audience right behind the cameras. So, everybody, we can't put you on camera, but it's great to see you all. We had 3 wonderful people joining us, our roommate and his brother and some of our other friends. And, you know, you might notice on Guys Washington's, the back, you'll see a lot of things brought together, but, you know, we are young people living in an apartment, doing our best while also making our dreams come true.
Right.
So,
and I fixed my headphones too, you know.
So if it looks a little messy, just remember we're in our 20s, grinding it out. So that explains that, but we're all here. Exactly, so this is fun. Glad to have you all join us today. So anyways, Guy, you were talking about your distinctive style, or I should say Griffey. So tell me, What does make you stand out from other artists? You were talking about the ideas you had beforehand and what you expected for the future. But for now, what makes you stick out from any other rapper or artist who's trying to make it out there?
To be honest, I'm just myself. I mean, I feel like artists in general nowadays, it's hard to really separate yourself. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
the more that you're you, the more that you're gonna stick out. You know what I mean? So you can't just like ride the wave for what's going on right now, because then you're gonna get stuck there. Then you're gonna be a moment. You know, if you just you throughout time, then that's gonna show for itself. To be honest, like that's really all I can say about it.
What gives you that confidence to make you stand out from the others?
I don't know. I mean, I could be, you know, vulnerable when I need to be. I could be confident when I need to be. And just really, like I said, it's just more of just being myself that really is gonna make people understand. Like, all right, I wanna buy into this because, and not necessarily like cash, but like just invest in time and shit. Because that's I can see myself being around this person. That's really all that. Any successful artist I've ever studied, I've noticed that that's really what they do.
Like almost having a healthy ego to themselves.
Yeah.
Knowing
Yeah.
that they
Everybody
are
has
brand.
an ego, for sure.
Like you really want artists to, obviously when we talk about our favorites, I like Lil Wayne's sound, I like Kanye's sound,
Mm-hmm.
I like the Same Clown Posse or whoever. They make
You
such
like
distinction.
Yeah? You like ICP?
No, but I'm just
Okay,
saying an
okay.
example. When you
Just
hear an
give
ICP
examples.
song, you hear it. So when you do your stuff, what do you think that special person is going to hear, especially for someone who's going to hear this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in GRFY. Now I'm about to tune into his music. What are they hearing? What's that distinctive sound that you produce for us?
As far as like other people they can relate it to,
Yeah.
like draw a parallel to.
Whether people or movements or wherever. What closely resembles you?
Well, Cuddy's deep in my soul, so like that's definitely one that's like top 3 right there.
That's
gonna,
mellow.
It's gonna jump out at you where it's like
Mhm.
it's giving you perspective. It's giving you emotional shit. You know what I mean? It's giving you. Sometimes he turned up. You know what I mean? Like Memories was one of my favorite songs when I was younger. Like, but that was him also getting to a spot where it's like, oh, we weren't used to hearing him like this. Like he was always, down and out.
Mhm.
No pun intended, but that was crazy.
I
But
hear
but like Cuddy is one of my niggas. Like, what I mean? I can't wait to meet him. You gotta speak things into fruition. Manifest shit. But I would say Frank Ocean is one of the ones for me too. And it's like why I say them two is because they really don't stick to what people want to hear from them. You know what I mean? Like every time you hear Frank Ocean nowadays, he might give you something that most of the public don't want to listen to. You know what I mean? But it's like he's gonna do what he wants because he loves what he does, and he's gonna be himself no matter where he's at. You know what I mean? So if you don't like this one, you probably gonna love the next one. You know what I mean? He's gonna make a classic at some point.
Yeah.
So it's like it just depends on who you are. You know what I mean? That's who the consumer is. So it could vary. You know what I mean? Since I want to present myself in different lanes to show the range of where I could go from like turning up to being in a room by yourself. You know what I mean? To working out to being with your girl. It's there's a whole bunch of different.
You want everybody to be thinking of you while you're with their girl playing their music.
Not at all. I want them to have better conversation with their women when they're have me in the background. You know what I mean?
Or pumping you up while you work out, like you said. And
Yeah. I ain't like that. No, they don't got to think about me when they're playing. Nah, not at all.
Not like The Weeknd or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him, but if that's what he does, that's what he does.
Right, I hear you. Well, I hear that in the distinguishing part. First, also, what's your favorite Frank Ocean song?
Mm. Oof, that's a great question. All right, let's see. Oof. I think I have to go with. I think I have to go with Pink and White.
Pink and White with Beyonce just harmonizing.
Beyonce's on there?
I think she's just harmonizing in it.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I can't play it for you. I'll get kicked off YouTube specifically, and yeah.
Oh wow.
She goes in.
I'm blonde?
Yeah.
I did not know
You
that.
get it right
Thank you
here.
for that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
But there's so many that I love from him that, you know what I mean? I can name like probably like 3 or 5 that I love, you know, but that one.
You show me, show me.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You show me love.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Glory from above.
Facts. So she's harmonizing in the back of those lyrics right there on that spot?
Yep, right here. Additional vocals, Beyonce, Knowles Carter.
Wow. Look at that. That's powerful as fuck.
One of my favorite Blonde songs. I like Nikes.
And Blonde is underrated too.
With one of the greatest lyrics from that.
Mm.
We gonna see the future first.
Your roommate was very into Nikes at that time when it came out. That's
For real?
OD.
I didn't know that about him.
I think he's. I don't know if I was really into that song specifically, but then he put it on. I was like, all right, I can see why you like this.
For real. Do you want to speak on that, roommate Sam? Did you listen to a lot of Nikes?
That was his shit.
No, I never listened to Frank Ocean. Everybody said I looked like him. I was like, I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that to myself. Yeah.
Great to see one sorry there.
I like Forrest Gump. Pause.
You know what also hit, man? Self-control.
Oof.
I mean,
that one, that one's very like, oh my god.
Every time I do, a Tinder girl didn't like me, that went off.
Okay. That one, it sent me to a different place, because at that point, I mean, we'll get into it.
Oh, tell me, what happened? What do you mean?
At that point, I was in a relationship, and it was like at the end of it, and that song,
perfect timing.
It was just like playing in the back of my head, and I felt like so bad about things like that. You know what I mean? Where it was like, damn, like this is like really speaking to me right now, and like I have her right next to me, but I'm thinking of like, not being there in a sense anymore.
You knew that it was over, and this song with lyrics like, I know you gotta leave. Take down some summertime. Give up.
Yeah.
Just tonight, night. Then you have this beautiful girl next to you, and you're realizing it's not gonna be much longer.
Yeah.
Don't have that self-control.
Yeah. But I knew something good was gonna come out of it, because I wasn't trying to end on bad terms, but I knew that we were gonna grow as people.
And you haven't talked to her since?
No, that's not true. But,
No.
I don't talk to her now, but yeah. Not for any bad reason, I just don't,
I hear that. What were some others? I'm trying to think. What were some songs I associate with the end of a relationship?
That's a good question.
Down with the Sickness by Disturbed.
Wow.
No.
I know what song that is, but I didn't listen to that one specifically.
There's plenty of movies and TV shows. The last time I ever saw, I was in a long distance relationship, and the last time I saw him in person, saw him Daughters by John Mayer was playing.
Oh wow. Okay.
There was a time where, that would play on and be sad. And like, what did I do to have this bad timing? But now I hear it, I blast that shit. And now I think of the future. I play Daughters, and I'm like, man, that was pretty.
You ever heard of Assassin by John Mayer?
What's the word I'm looking for? I was very sensitive. I can't take back how I felt back then, but now you just laugh at yourself,
Yeah, no, and that's how it's supposed to be, because you're supposed to get, you're supposed to get older. You're supposed to, get wise and shit. Gain wisdom, all this bullshit that we're supposed to get. But it's harder because we start realizing what reality is more and more each day. But did you hear me though? I said, have you heard Assassin by John Mayer?
I am assassin.
Oh, that
got
one's tough.
somewhere to be. Yeah,
I saw him at Bethel Woods.
No way.
Yeah, that's.
Now that's a song. That's a dream artist of mine to see.
Yo, he was amazing. He sounds just like the record.
Yeah, that's key. Not a lot of artists, no matter what genre, they don't sound like the record.
Great performer, for real.
You know what was funny? Besides you played Assassin, what was my train of thought? So you had Assassin play. I once put on Hinge, back to the dating, as a as a prompt. Who wants? I'm trying to look for somebody who will go to John Mayer with me, and I got a lot of matches.
Okay.
And then I had the sad reality that these people were willing to go to this concert with me as a stranger just to see John Mayer.
Yeah. That is kind of sad. You know,
Nobody wanted to genuinely grow a connection so that when it's time to see John Mayer and you hear those great songs, it can grow, strengthen our connection. No, there were people who just like pay for me to see
it's
it.
an opportunity for sure. Nah, I mean people in general.
When they say like at the John Mayer concert, they caught me out of it.
I can imagine that, yo. That's basically what would have happened.
Yeah.
Oh man, but nah. Going back to your app, but like, you know, on things like that, you know, it's all about what they want. You know how they want to get it and shit. It's just opportunist shit on there all the time.
Yeah, they really do see. There's some people who will use their dating app profile as like a social media.
Yeah, for
like,
sure. They'll plug it. You know, you might message them. They might not say anything. But they'll be like, "Oh, I'm never on here. Message me on Instagram."
And message me on Instagram and follow me specifically, or Snapchat.
Yup.
And it's funny how that works. It's the business page to some of them.
Yeah, for real.
Were you able to ever successfully? I know you have someone in your life right now, but beforehand, did you ever like try? I'm gonna break through this hole. I'm not gonna be a number to them. I'm gonna be a genuine match, or just no.
On what app?
I call the big three the Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. That's the big three I say. And then there's the others. Was it any of those or?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess I don't know if I had any like bad intentions towards anybody on it, but you know, it was more of just like I want to meet you in person to see who you really are, and if we have some type of connection, whether it leads to friendship or it leads to, you know, something else. Like I don't know if I had any other intentions than that.
Have you ever made a great friend off a dating app? Like, you will go to their house and sit on separate couches and watch, you know, a documentary together, and then you hug and say goodbye. Have you made a friendship like that?
I'm trying to think. No, I didn't. And like I said, that was one of the things that I was looking for, because I wanted them to see that, because you know, a lot of, I would say on both sides. I'm not just gonna say women. Like,
of course,
people think sometimes that, and I understand it, that everybody's out to get them on those apps, or everybody's dangerous. You know what I mean? So I understand, because there's a lot of creeps out there. So I get it.
Yeah.
So I guess I just want to prove that I'm not a creep so much that I just want to, you know, be normal to them, and then, you know, see that, you know, that there's hope out there. I want them to know that there's hope. That's really all that I was trying to get at.
For sure, and you know, I had that kind of relationship after the fact, but yeah, I think it is important to just give it effort. That's all I ask is an effort now, especially if I'm going to put myself out there. I really just want to put the best effort in. I will meet somebody that I feel I have a chance to create that kind of connection with, and hopefully more than that. And not really. I'm not looking exactly for a Netflix and buddy.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to, you know.
How's the tri-state treating you? Well, this side of the tri-state, how's it treating you?
How's New Jersey? How's dating in New Jersey?
Yeah.
So I've been here for a few months. I have to say, I've had some fantastic first dates.
Okay.
Absolutely storybook,
Okay.
awesome first dates, and even some awesome storybook second dates. And I don't know. Then they change their mind. So what am I? I don't know. So what am I supposed to do?
Well,
I'm just putting
you
myself
know,
out there.
Sometimes
it's all about the
you.
spark.
You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah,
it's
no.
more like they found something else, or maybe they're just like
Another
so
guy?
busy and their own.
We were talking at the same
own
time, and the
self.
other person was more interesting.
You know, that's the shit, yo. You can't be like insecure about it. You just gotta understand that there's other people out there for that person. So it's like you can't like hold that over the rest of the time. You can't be like, oh, they don't like me type shit. You know what I mean? Maybe
No,
it's
you're
just like,
in all seriousness, you're 100% right, and
Mhm.
I'm just cheesing around.
I know. I see.
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's just about a spark. Sometimes it lasts a couple of days. Sometimes it just lasts a night. Sometimes it lasts a few weeks, months, maybe even years. But sometimes it dies out, and you can't take that personally.
Yeah.
And those nights, I don't regret at all the money spent or anything. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I tried, and I hope they put in a good word too. And
Because those are experiences for you too.
yeah, it really is all character developing. So, to answer your question again, like I've met some people, and I just haven't found somebody to have that special spark with. But definitely hoping and trying for the future.
No,
Guess
that's
what?
fine.
I even have some